Yo, what's going on, man? Today is May the 31st, 2024. It's the ChrisBeCappinn NBA / WNBA show for today. We'll be going through, I want to do a look ahead to the finals. We got the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics, of course, but we also got four, I think, pretty difficult WNBA games to bet today. I'm excited to jump into those as well. Yesterday, we actually had a pretty good day. 3-0 yesterday. Dallas Mavericks plus the 4.5. Little sprinkle on Dallas on the money line, and Seattle Storm on the money line. Gave it out a couple days ago when it was at minus 130. So 3-0 day yesterday. Almost up. Excuse me. Almost make 2 units yesterday. That feels great to get back into the win column. Hopefully we can. I don't feel that strongly about anything today in the WNBA, but we could talk it through. Definitely talk it through and see if we can find some winners for today. I did not get a chance to go back and look through the t-shirt giveaway, the comments for the t-shirt giveaway, but I will, and I'll announce the winner on tomorrow's show, because we got WNBA tomorrow as well. So only one WNBA game for tomorrow, but I'll talk about it and announce the winner tomorrow. So we'll do that. Go through the comments real quick before we jump into the stream before we jump into the preview for the Boston and Dallas NBA Finals game. Prince says, a fresh board, a new day. Let's get it. I'll be listening while pouring concrete. Stay blessed. Peace. Right back at you, Prince. Best of luck on your action for today if you bet in the W or the MLB. What up, Mark? He says, happy Friday, Chris in the community. It was a good day yesterday. Hope we all cash today. Right there with you, Mark. I know Mark's a big Dallas guy, so I know he made some money yesterday. What up to my guy, Justin? Frankie says the NBA is not good to me. I think anyone that had any over with the Timberwolves yesterday lost money. Yeah, it was a Dallas bounce back spot. We talked about it yesterday on the show, man. Luka happened. That's what really happened. Jamie's top of the morning to you. What up, Eric? Fahrenheit in here as well. He says top of the morning to the gang. Always reminding people to like, share, comment, subscribe, buy some merch, become a member. Appreciate that, Fahrenheit. What up, Life's a Drip? Darwin in here as well. He says good pick on the Storm. Yeah, Storm smoked the Fever yesterday. I didn't think it was going to be that easy, but one thing we continue to talk about with the Fever is the schedule makers have been so bad to them, man. They really have not had a chance to get any practice in, a lot of travel, and they played the most games in the WNBA as well. It's always a recipe for disaster. Then they're without Fong Bagley, I think is how you pronounce her name, who, I talked about it yesterday. Her impact is tremendous. Eric Willer was down. So you're just running out there with a bunch of rookies and a bunch of, really young players, and Alyssa Smith and Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark versus a lot of experience on the other side with the Seattle Storm. What up, Prolific? He says, good morning. That game hurt my eyes. It was so bad. That game was amazing. I actually fell asleep and woke back up in the third quarter, late third quarter. Was like, is Dallas still winning by 30? And they were. So it was great, man. It was great to have the Dallas Mavericks. Nothing like a non-sweaty bet. DB says, good morning, Chris. If you had to pick over or under on Tina Charles rebounds, 8.5, where would you look? Oh man, I would need to look into it a little bit more, DB, but we can talk about it. We can definitely talk about it. I'll see if I can remember this comment so we can get back to it. That is the first game on the board in the W today. Lisa Dredge says, I must be blind because I didn't see that answer coming. Yeah, I give you guys the numbers, man. Dallas off a loss. What did I tell you guys? 4-0 straight up and against the number. They don't really lose back-to-back games. If you listen to what I said yesterday, I said the defense gets better. Coach Kidd makes the adjustments, and then I don't know, for whatever reason, Luka and Kyrie don't like to lose back-to-back games because they've been great on the road, back-to-back, all that. Off a loss, all that good stuff. Jared says good morning from the 804. So you got some 804. I wonder if that's RVA. Good old Richmond in here. Chaz, good morning to you as well. He says appreciate the early stream. Good night. Good night in the NBA with Luka. He says he went off. Richard says, good morning, Chris, new subscriber. I like your content on Cal. What happened to those damn Sparks? They got cooked. Yeah, man, they did. And that's what I said that I wasn't going to play the Sparks yesterday. But I did see, because I was watching the game, Kurt Miller actually was getting inducted into the Hall of Fame for the MAC, some college stuff. So without Kurt Miller being there, I see how the game started. I said, yeah, I'm so glad I stayed off. I just didn't want to lay the points with the Chicago Sky yesterday. It was the first time they was favored. So I stayed away from it. I'm glad I did. Marquise, good morning, bro. He says giving away money with plus 155 on the Mavs money line. I think I got it at 160 something yesterday, Mavs on the money line. Yeah, it was good. What up, Malik? Appreciate you for being here as well. He says Sky spread tonight. We're gonna talk about it. And let's jump into it. Let's jump into it for today. We got we can start with this. We can start with the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. Just some early thoughts on the series. This game is not going to be played, of course, until next Thursday. So we still have 7 days until this game is going to be played. I did see the total open at like 212, and it's up 2.5 points already to 214.5. And I think it opened at 5.5 is where I saw the first number on FanDuel while the game was still going on last night between the Dallas Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Open, a little bit of money looks like it's coming on Boston in this first game. And I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. I don't want to like get into the betting part of it yet. I just want to kind of, process it all and think about it. First, a couple things that come to mind. First off, on the Boston side, what I don't like for Boston is they've had a cakewalk to the finals. I mean, round one, it was no Jimmy Butler against the Miami Heat. Round two, it was Donovan Mitchell, who ended up being hurt. Jared Allen didn't play in that series. And granted, Porzingis has been out as well. And then round three, of course, Tyrese Halliburton goes down. But that typically bodes well for the team in the finals because then you really get to exert yourself. And we have not seen Boston have to exert themselves. I didn't look into the numbers of teams coming off, a conference final sweep, but I'm pretty sure they do pretty well in the finals just because it's grueling when you have to go through so many games over and over again. And when you start to stack up these 6 and 7 game series, that can be really, really difficult and it catches up with you at a certain point. Remember, these teams are already playing, they played throughout the season. And for the Boston Celtics, I think Coach Joe Mazzulla has done a really good job of kind of managing the minutes for his team too, not just throughout the playoffs, but throughout the regular season. So that doesn't bode well for Dallas in this spot. But I don't like that Boston has such an easy cakewalk. I guess you could look at it both ways. Boston has, even during the regular season, Joe Mazzulla, he did a really good job of resting Tatum when he needed to. Jaylen Brown was out. Porzingis should be fresher than anybody in the playoffs when he comes back from injury. Hopefully he's able to get his cardio up so we can see a really good series. But Boston is the best, they're the best team in the NBA. They have been for a very long time. The one trend that I'll talk to you guys about before we flip it to the Dallas Mavericks, and then we can get to the X's and O's, or at least I'll tell you guys what I'm thinking. Home favorites in game one of the finals that have more rest than their opponent are, what is that number? I think it's 8-2 straight up and against the spread. So that does say that Boston takes care of game one. Yeah, 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the number. This is home favorites with more rest in game one of the finals. 8-2 straight up, 8-2 against the number, 7-3 to the under. Winning by, average line is minus 6.3 points. They're winning by 10 points per game. Now, I don't know, trends don't always, I'm not like super high on all the trends, but I just wanted to kind of mention that one because I kind of feel like Dallas can come in here and still win on the road. I think about the rest advantage. Boston's been off since Monday, so they do have, a slightly more rest advantage. Then you think about travel after the game as well. Dallas had to get back to Dallas because they couldn't take care of business in game 4. But it's not going to be like a major rest advantage. Like Dallas still going to get 6 days off, and Derek Lively I think will be fine in that time. Maxi Kleber going to get his cardio back. I think he could be helpful for them in this series as well. And for Boston, it's really going to be about Porzingis, in my opinion. Like they're going to need. I'm not sure. I guess he's expected to play. I have no idea what's going on with Porzingis. If he does play, does he come all the way? Like, can he stay healthy long enough to actually make it through the series? I'm not sure, man. I just think that I think Boston has had a really easy cakewalk schedule to get here. And that's what you kind of need. Remember 2 years ago when Boston went to the finals against the Golden State Warriors, it was the opposite. they had the two grueling game sevens that they had to win. I think it was against the Miami Heat and the Milwaukee Bucks just to get to the finals. And then, of course, they ended up losing to the Golden State Warriors, lost game 6 at home, got smoked in game 6 at home to lose the finals 4-2. That's when Steph started to do the night-night. But this is going to be, a lot different, a lot different in my opinion, just because of that. Now, the Dallas Mavericks have, in my opinion, the coldest man on the planet. Luka Doncic is something different. Jaden McDaniels couldn't do it. Anthony Edwards couldn't do it. I think, Al Horford in this series is going to be the new Rudy Gobert. He's going to be the guy that's going to be, they're going to push up on him, which is why it's so important to get Porzingis back. I think, you put Al Horford in that pick and roll the same way they did Rudy Gobert in the last series. And it's difficult, man. It's difficult to get out there and, to try to be able to slow down Kyrie and slow down Luka Doncic, especially Luka. And Al Horford is much slower, much older, much less athletic than Rudy Gobert. So that's a major advantage for the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion. And I know it's going to be a lot of screen and roll, a lot of pick and roll action, getting Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, Derek White, Drew Holiday off of guys like Luka and Kyrie. So, these are just initial thoughts on the series. I do think I did the podcast with my guy Munov yesterday, and we were talking about looking at some futures. I think Luka to win Finals MVP was like plus 275. Jason Tatum was like minus 100, or right at 100, plus 100. So you could get even money for Tatum. And then Jaylen Brown, I think, was like plus 400, 500, and Kyrie was like plus 800, 900, something like that. I can't remember exactly what those numbers were, but of course, those four guys are going to be the top, the favorites for it all. Dallas has played, really good defense. I think they all kind of know their role. I really want to lean towards Dallas, man. I just don't. I think Boston to win the series is like a minus 222. I think is minus 225 for Boston to win it all. So they heavy favorites here, and I think you can get a plus 185 on ESPN bet for the Dallas Mavericks, and that's the way I would kind of look. I would kind of look towards. I think Dallas can get the job done, man. I really, really do. That's just my thoughts. Let's see what you guys are thinking about this one before we move on to some NBA. Some WNBA. I'm sorry. Anthony going back. He says Sparks were coming off a fever game. That's an instant fade all season. Rob, what's up, man? He says, good morning, everyone. Great 2-0 day in the W yesterday. He says, let's keep it rolling. What up to my guy, Jamie? He says, good morning, chat. Dallas in 6, Cash. Oh, he likes Dallas in 6. Okay. Mark says, tough matchup for my Mavs, but we have more heart. Okay. John says, the Boston win games 1 in the blowout. Might play Mavs money line game 2 as Boston letdown game. I would agree. Markel says, I'm on the Mavs to win the series 4-3. What up, bro? What up, man? I didn't even look into series action, but I do need to look into some series action and see if you can get Dallas plus 1.5 for the full series. I do think that's probably going to be a pretty good look. James says Dallas plus 6. If the Mavs are going to win this game, I feel like game 1 is if they're going to win this thing, I think game 1 is a must. I'm not into laying 6 with the Boston Celtics. I'll tell you that. I know the numbers keeps getting shorter and shorter. They have like a plus 8, plus 9 point margin in the playoffs so far, but Dallas is special. It feels like right now, man. It really, really does. John says Boston wins in 6, but if it goes to 7, Dallas can win. Yeah, Dallas. Boston hasn't really been tested. They have not been tested. They've went up every single game. Throughout every single series, they've had a 1-0 lead. Whereas Dallas, they lost game 1 against the Clippers. Everybody was on them. I know I was on them. And then they lost game 1 against the Thunder. And they've still yet to go 7. So Dallas, they, like I said, they bounced back for sure. And it really wouldn't deter me if I like Dallas if they lose game 1. Jabari, absolutely. He says Andrew Nembhard was killing Horford. Just imagine Luka and Kyrie. Andrew Nembhard. That list goes on and on. Darius Garland just a tad bit in that other series. Tyler Hero had a good game in the first round. And who else am I missing? Of course, Tyrese Halliburton as well. Tony says Boston will not win. I love Dallas in this spot. And Malik says Derek White and Drew Holiday in trouble. Man, it's gonna be difficult, man. It's gonna be difficult. This is something like I mean, like I said, Boston has not played a healthy team throughout the playoffs, and Porzingis coming back definitely gives him an edge if he can, maintain. But we'll see, man. We shall see. That's enough. Let's see, what else we got? A couple more comments. What up, Rick? He says, "Good morning, Chris. In Vegas covering." 1780 Guap says Porzingis nor Al Horford can't hold Luka respectfully. JB got to show up, show he's worthy of that hefty contract. Yeah, 300 M's. He boy. AOD says Tatum going Tatum. I think I know what that means. What else we got? Donovan says it will be hard to beat Boston four times. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to beat Dallas 4 times. Nobody's come close to doing that yet either. My opinion, not yours, says the series should be fireworks. Let's smoke the NBA Finals because I need to. I absolutely need to, man, to finish the season off in the positive. Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Doug says Dallas in 7. Kyrie returns to Boston. 1780 Guap says Jaylen Brown, James Brown, Pound Town, Mavs in 5. Yeah, okay. Takri says I think Boston got it, but I got some free bets. Taking Mavs to win the series, but one of those won't be bad if people I respect think they got a chance. Yeah, I do think they have a chance. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I just like the chemistry. I like the camaraderie that they have. I like that everybody plays their role. And then you got Luka and Kyrie, man. I think this means a lot to them. It means a lot to Boston too. Don't get it twisted. Like Boston has been here before. Both of these players, I kind of feel like, eventually gonna get a ring between Luka and Jason Tatum. I think that they both will finish their career with rings, but one of them will be ringless, after the series ends. Justin says definitely betting Mavs series winner and Luka to win MVP. I know that the number has changed now, but you could have got a plus 275 last night. DJ Prop says, I really think Mavs get it done. Luka is looking as dominant as LeBron in his younger playoff runs. Man, them shots Luka was hitting in the first quarter last night, boy. I said, oh, this one over. I said, yeah, we don't got to worry about this one. This one in the bag. I'm so glad I bet Dallas tonight. Boy, we get that kind of Luka, man. They won't even touch in the rim. Marquis says this is going to come down to X's and O's. I trust Jason Kidd more. Mavs in 7. I didn't even think about coaching. I'm not giving the coaching advantage to Joe Mazzulla. I tell you that. I can't trust him quite yet. What up, Dream? My guy says, what's the vibes? Luka lead the series in scoring at minus 115 on DraftKings. I actually need to write that down. I like this one. Shout out to my guy Dream, man. Y'all check Dream out, Blunt Money Bets on YouTube, and Mr. Dreamy One on Twitter. Luka to lead the series in scoring. Minus 115 on DK. See, I gotta look into those markets, man. I don't be paying attention enough. I be out here looking at spreads. Life's a Drip. A couple more comments before we get to the W. Life's a Drip says this series reminds me of when what? I don't even know this. Something about Goku. Celtics. Yeah, I'm not a Dragon Ball Z type guy. I think I'm missing that one. Malik says we could also see Joe Mazzulla get out coached. I think that's important matchup too. Coaching adjustments during the game. Yeah, I would agree with that, man. I didn't like to see Boston shooting all those threes in Game 4 against the Pacers. Game 3 either. Them not being able to cover the number without Tyrese Halliburton in those 2 games. I know that they won both of them, and that's the only thing that's important. But they just didn't look great in that spot. Like I said, Porzingis coming back should be helpful though. We'll see. Young man travel OG says not an easy task, but Boston is way too efficient on both sides of the ball. Boston in 7+ went to school with Jaylen Brown, so I got to pull for the home kid. Man, that's funny. There's a little bit of bias in there. It's a fandom. Takri says shout out to Kyrie, big jersey. But he got this one. We'll see how it goes, man. A lot of comments coming in here. Let's get through. Get to one more real quick. Tony says, man, Luka in the zone right now. Kyrie been a problem, especially in Boston. Luka will feed off his energy. I promise you that. Plus, Boston sucks at home. I wouldn't say sucks, but they haven't been covering the number. Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as say sucks though. Let's jump into the W for today, man. I like the rhetoric, all the back and forth. I just wanted to do, like I said, a little preview. I haven't placed the bet at all, but I'll deep dive into it as we get a little bit closer. We still a week out, but we got the Aces in the Dream game to be played in Atlanta tonight. The Dream are getting 8.5 points as home dogs here. And the Aces are laying 8.5 on the road. Of course, we talk about injuries. We got Jordan Canada, who has still yet to make her season debut for the Atlanta Dream. And Alicia, she's out. Jordan Canada is. And then Alicia Gray also popped up on the injury report. She's listed as questionable in this game, and I didn't see an injury. Like, I have no idea why. I watched that game when the Atlanta Dream watched the Mystics the other day. So I do not like that. If you like the Dream, you kind of need all hands on deck, in my opinion. The Aces, they'll still be without Chelsea Gray. They'll still be without Kirsten Bell. But they are 4-1 straight up. They've only covered 2 of their 5 spreads so far. And this will be the second road game for them. They are coming off back-to-back covers. They smoked the Fever at home last week, and then they went to Minnesota when the world bet against them, me included, and they absolutely smoked Minnesota in that spot. I think that was a step-up spot for the Aces. I really, really do. In retrospect, all that money coming in on Minnesota having a better record than the Aces. I think the Aces were turned up for that game. Do they regress here just a tad bit? I think so. I really, really do. I think they were highly motivated in that game. I kind of feel like I want Alicia Gray in there, and I think if she plays, they can keep this one within the number. The Dream, just kind of suspect at times, man. They are 3-2 straight up, but just 2-3 against the number so far. They're coming off 1 day's rest. They did get a 6-point win as a 2.5-point favorite against the Washington Mystics the other day. They play again on Sunday, and that game will be a home game as well against the Connecticut Sun. Aces are off until Wednesday. They don't play again until Wednesday. The Aces they'll get a nice little break here. But I think Dream plus the 8.5, the right side in this game, man. I just kind of want all hands on deck. I would love for this to go up to 9, maybe even 9.5. Like, I think the Dream have enough offense to be able to keep this one close. And if I want the Dream, I want them as dogs. I don't want the Dream laying a big number, because I don't trust them in that spot. But I'll trust this team a little bit more as a dog. I think we see big games from Ryan Howard, Tina Charles. This Dream team is they're loaded. They still feel like they struggle to kind of put it all together, but you got really good point guard play. You got really good post play. Their bench is solid, is decent with Hillman coming off the bench. I think that they can keep it within the number, man. I can see a Aces 5, 6, 7-point win in the Dream covering this game. That's the only way I would be looking in this one, is Dream plus the 8.5. Anybody got thoughts on this game? Let's go back to the chat real quick. Don't look like it. Nobody got thoughts. No thoughts on this game. So I'll be fading the world champs in this one on the road, especially coming off the big win against the Minnesota Lynx. And the total is coming back down. It went up to 172. And then it's coming back down to 171.5. So a little bit of money coming in on the under here as well. Let's keep it pushing. Next game up, we got the Washington Mystics. They will be, this line is moving just since we started the show. The Washington Mystics will be in New York tonight. This line opened with them getting 15.5 points. You guys see 15 on the screen. It's actually down to 14, and I see some 13.5s popping up. The total also coming down, open 162 down to 161. And agree with both. I didn't play the game, but how could you lay 15.5 points with the Liberty? I know the Washington Mystics are god awful. This is the team in the NBA, in the WNBA, the only team in the WNBA that has not won a game yet. And they're going to continue to miss Brittany Sykes here. I did see Secure Austin is listed as probable. She's probably going to play. And on the Liberty side, they didn't have anybody on the injury report. But the Liberty, man, they're a very weird team. They're 5-2 straight up, so they continue to win games, but just 1-6 against the number, and they're 0-4 against the spread at home with a 4-point margin. But they're laying 14 points, 14 points here. Like I said, the Mystics are not great. They're the worst team in the W, but they have covered numbers, 2-1-1 against the number so far, on the road this season. No way I'm laying 15 points with the Liberty right now. Eventually, they will blow somebody out, though. I just want to make that known. Eventually they will blow somebody out. They absolutely will. I can't blindly do it though. I feel like that's catching the falling knife here with the Liberty. I looked into one more thing too. The Liberty, since last season, when they've been laying these big numbers, so 12 and a half or more, and the total is a low total, so expecting them, to be a defensive type game, or a team not to be able to score against them. So I looked at Liberty laying 12 and a half in the total below 170. And they have won most of them, 7-2 straight up, but they're only 2-7 against the number. And this was since the beginning of last season. The reason why I looked at beginning of last season was because that's when they kind of formed, all these all-stars being together. They're also 6-3 to the over in this spot as well. So that says that you take the Mystics plus the points here, and the line is moving down to 14. That would be the way that I would look in this game, but I don't feel comfortable because, like I said, the Liberty gonna blow somebody out eventually. I'm not sure if it's gonna be the Mystics or not. It could very well be the Mystics, though. The Mystics have been absolutely trash. I still think they can keep it within the number, though. Let's see what you guys are saying about this one. Oh, I did see this. Dream, going back to the last game, he said Asia had 50 the last time they played. She did drop a 50 ball on the Atlanta Dream. And Asia, honestly, I don't know how to compare her in NBA terms. She's like Luka from last night, but every single night. Like, Asia is different. If she motivated, ain't nothing nobody can do about it, in my opinion. Tina Charles gonna have her hands full tonight, man. Cheyenne Parker Tyus gonna have her hands full tonight. Like that. If Asia come to hoop, man, your hands gonna be full for sure. So appreciate Dream for shouting this out. Rob says Kyrie will be MVP. I have a huge motivation when I hear when he hears the F Kyrie chants in Boston. They definitely coming. Jake likes the Aces first half. He says, like you said, Dream aren't the strongest first half team. So yeah, maybe Aces get up big and then they kind of let go of the rope. I can see that, but I do think the plus 8.5 is a good look. Justin says, my bad. Got Dream plus 8.5 betted last night from Jay Money. Yeah, me and Jay talked about this game yesterday, and I like his thought process for sure. Me and Jay chopped it up after I did a show with him yesterday. Dream says he likes Shakira Austin over 10.5 points. He says love it with the minutes restriction and all. Man, I can't wait till I get my models finished because I really want to see like what's going on with the Liberty. What I will tell you guys, I was looking into this. I was trying to figure out like what is going on with the Liberty, man. So the Liberty this season, are their offense just has really, really struggled. That's what it is. In their 4 home games where they are 0-4 against the number, they have failed to score to hit their team total in any of the games. They've gone under in every single game by double digits. So the defense has played, okay, but their offense has not been there. They for whatever reason, they come out, score a lot in the first quarter, but then the second quarter, they've scored in the teens. In the fourth quarter, they've really struggled to close out so far. And a lot of the jump shots that they've been shooting haven't been going in. But I want to look at this from like a stats perspective, not just from like a box score perspective. But yeah, I will tell you guys, like outside of that first quarter, they have not been a great team at all so far. The New York Liberty. Let's see. Timmy says, think Liberty only covered once or twice, I think. They covered twice. Jamie likes the Ryan Howard over 19.5 points. Markel says, Ryan's going to have to play. She's going to have to play big here. She definitely going to have to play big here. I couldn't talk you off. And this game should be played with a ton of pace. We know Atlanta since last season, top 3, top 4 in pace. And we know what the Aces do. They run up and down the floor. So this will be when I start seeing totals like 170, it scares me. But a first half over wouldn't surprise me. The Dream have come out very, very slow. But if they started fast in this game, it wouldn't surprise me at all, being that they are big, dogs at home against the defending champs. Markel says, I'm going under in the Mystics. I don't even play WNBA. I need one more under. I thought under in this game as well. The total is just a tad bit too low for me, but it doesn't scare me at all. I mean, it doesn't shock me if this game goes under. Truth says, what has the Liberty done to be laying that number? Absolutely nothing. I think it's more just the Mystics. They have this arguably is the worst team in the WNBA. The Mystics on the opposite side. So that's what you got to take into consideration. Jake says Liberty are going to be like the Thunder from this season. High spreads, they ain't going to cover, but they will win. I agree there. Jamie likes the first quarter. Again, I know we cashed on this the other day. First quarter team total over here for the Liberty. They do average about 25 points in the first quarter. The problem is the Mystics play a tad bit too slow, in my opinion. Defensively, if they, I'm not trying to talk you off. Jay says, she's in B, Chris, without the injuries. You talking about Asia Wilson? That's a good comparison. It's a really good comparison. But she has like Kevin Garnett type energy. Like her energy is crazy. Asia Wilson is different, man. Truth says Embiid as well. Hustle with Graham says, Chris, let's get this money. Says he got the Connecticut Sun. We're gonna talk about that game in a second. Chad says Liberty don't run their offense enough through Jaquel, and I absolutely agree. I can tell Chad watches WNBA. He says they don't run it through Jonquel Jones, but also she stays in foul trouble. A lot of frustration fouls. Yeah, especially in a game against the Connecticut Sun the other day with no Brittany Griner out there. I just felt like, why wouldn't you run the offense through her a little bit more? It was very interesting. When the game was on the line, though, when they were up 1 point, down 1 point in the fourth quarter with a couple minutes left, I saw Jaquel did get the ball. Like all of those threes went away. I think some of this vanished Luke as well. I don't know what her numbers are, her individual numbers, but she got to come off the bench, man. Courtney Vandersloot's like 120 years old, man. She can't shoot as well anymore. You still got Sabrina out there running point guard who crushed her assist line in the last game. I think you just put Sabrina at the point, man. You Courtney gotta, man. Courtney, man. Boy. The Mystics are awful. Seen it in person, live in person. Lane Liberty here. If you want the Liberty, you want to get in and get out, man. First quarter, first half, for sure. Jerry says, Jonquel, a rare dog in the WNBA. Her grit and hustle is crazy. She earns her stats. She kind of doggy, I guess. Jonquel is great when she is great. When she's not great, she looks terrible and she has 5 fouls and she doesn't get double-digit points or rebounds. And that's just the difference. I think Benaj Delaney is the dog that they have. Jerry likes Vandersloot under the 10.5 points. He says it has been money. You know what? Let's go Vandy under. I don't be playing a lot of player props, man, but I'm going to definitely look into this one. Don't worry about that. Wrote down what Dream said about Luka earlier. I will write down Miss Vandersloot and go in and look at her numbers under those 10.5 points here. And check out Washington defensively against the guard position as well. They're both terrible defenders. Sabrina not a great defender either, but that's part of the problem is that, when you're not playing defense and the books have it, set that your offense is going to go crazy, then you end up going under. Chad also says Vandersloot definitely slows the team down. Jamie says the same thing. Yeah, no shade towards her. It's just, at a certain point, you got to wrap it up, man. Let's go. We got a couple more games to get to. Next one, we got the Dallas Wings and the Connecticut Sun. This line opened, I think, at 7.5 in favor of Connecticut. It's up to 8.5 now. Total opened at 165.5 is what I wrote down last night. And this total is, God damn, everything that got hit since we started the show. 162 now. 161's out there as well. I like the under. I didn't play it yet. Definitely hate losing those, 3 points of value. And spreading this one coming back down to 8 as well. This is a game that I do like. I like the Wings here. Haven't bet it yet, but I'm looking towards the Wings. Dallas will be without Jayla Brown. Natasha Howard's still going to be out. No Satu Sabali, but they just continue to get the job done. Connecticut has been the best team in the WNBA so far. They don't have any injuries. I didn't see anybody on their injury report. But looking at the Dallas Wings, this team is 3-2 straight up so far, 4-1 against the number. Excuse me. And this is the 4th straight road game for them. They're coming off back-to-back wins. They beat the Phoenix Mercury as dogs, and then they beat the LA Sparks as well. And I like it because I like the Wings here because they're super rested. I don't think they've played a game since Sunday. But you look at the Connecticut Sun, not an easy team to fade here. They are 6-0 straight up. Like I said, they've only covered 2 of the 6 numbers, so 2 of the 6 ATS numbers so far. In Connecticut, they played the slowest pace. Offensively, they've been pretty good. Defensively, they've also been pretty good this season, just depending on which game you're looking at. But if I'm catching points with Dallas, like a number this big, I'm cool with that. Like, I don't think this game's going to be a blowout. Like I said, the Wings have covered 3 in a row. Well rested, not having played a game since Sunday. Connecticut is definitely the better team in my opinion, but Dallas defensively is good enough to keep this within the number. You got Enrique, who's the leading scorer in the WNBA out there. Connecticut also, played I looked into it. They played the second easiest schedule so far as well. So all of those things taken into consideration, I'll take the points with the Wings as road dogs here. I do like the Wings tonight, plus the 8.5. Like I said, to see the line coming down to 8, I like that. Probably a couple 8.5s out there, but I'll take an 8.5 here with the Wings. And I definitely agree with the total coming down. The Wings, the reason why they've been able to cover is because their defense is really good. They got Tierra McCowan down there, Monique Billings coming off the bench, Seager's coming up, like playing really, really well. Defensively, this team is good. And that's what they've kind of had to hang their hats on without Satu Sabali and Natasha Howard being out there. So I'll take the Wings here, plus the 8.5. Not official play yet, but I will be on the Wings. I will be on the Wings today, thinking that they can keep this one close. Jerry says Vandersloot only went over 10.5 once this season. She laid a donut too. Yeah, boy. DJ Prop says Vandersloot points under is always my first parlay piece. WNBA. Man, Vandersloot. I hope she don't watch this show. Hope nobody from the Liberty watch this show. And tell her about what we're saying with her here. Jerry says where you get an 8.5. So 8.5 was the number when I made the graphics this morning. The number, let's see. I don't know if you can get an 8.5 right now. Let's see. Yeah, I see 8.5. 8.5. Hold on. Yeah, 8.5 is available for the Wings on Bet MGM right now. Minus 110 too. So not a lot of juice being laid there. Also available on ESPN Bet and Unibet as well. So yeah, a couple 8.5s out there. All right, let's go. Last game on the board for today. We got the Phoenix Mercury and the Minnesota Lynx. Line sitting at 7 right now in favor of the home Minnesota Lynx. Line opened at 7, down to 6.5. It's another one where I kind of agree with the movement on. I'm probably gonna stay off of this game. The Phoenix Mercury will. Let's go injury report first. So Phoenix Mercury will still be without Rebecca Allen. I think this is the third or fourth game she's gonna miss in a row with the concussion. And I keep saying this. I think she means a lot to this team, especially defensively, because the Mercury can't really stop anybody. Now I don't know if you want to say that they stopped the Liberty in the last game where the Liberty just sucked, offensively and keep getting, taxed with these super high totals because you're expecting them to score so many points. So I guess you can give the Mercury a little bit of credit, but I think some of that was on the Liberty just not, being as great of an offense as the books is pricing them to be so far. The Mercury are still wanting to play super fast and still just really struggle defensively, in my opinion. The Lynx coming off a very, very bad game. I was doing the Lynx plus the 6.5, plus the 6 in that last game, and they got smoked pretty much from start to finish. Kind of expect them to bounce back in this spot here. The Phoenix Mercury and the Aces are not the same team at all. I think that Coach Cheryl Reeves will have the ladies, motivated and ready to go in this bounce back type spot. The Lynx had a bad performance, but they are 4-2 straight up, 5-1 against the numbers so far. And this will be the second straight home game for him as well. So probably a wake up call for him here. 7 is a really big number, but defensively, before that last game, the Lynx were a plus 10 in not ATS margin, but in overall plus minus margin. So Lynx do feel like I think that they could win the game and they could win it by double digits, but if I had to play it, I think I would be taking the points with the Mercury here. The thing that scares me with the Mercury is, like I said, they play fast. They don't play a lot of defense. They rely heavily on the three-point shot. Minnesota has been great against the three-point shot outside of the game against the Aces. And it's also the last game of a 3-game road trip for the Mercury. So could they be, just ready to get back to the crib and get back to Phoenix? I think so. Remember, they went to, where did they go? They went to Connecticut, went to New York, and now they are in Minnesota. So a long road, probably week-long road trip for them. But I do think that they could potentially keep this one within the number. I'm probably not going to play the game, though. This is one that I probably will stay off of. If it's something that I do like, it may be like a Minnesota team total over. Let me see what that number is real quick. Just because I know the Mercury going to play fast. I know they're going to get up and down the floor. They're still going to be without Brittany Griner. Elena Smith should bounce back, I think, really, really well in this spot. She's coming off a game where she got absolutely smoked by Asia Wilson. Asia Wilson went for 29 points and 15 rebounds in that last game. Elena Smith looked like she had never played basketball before. Alana Smith, I'm sorry. And he had been playing really, really good basketball in the last, and leading up to that game against the Aces. So team total right now for the Lynx is 85.5. That seems doable in my opinion. It definitely seems doable. Against the Mercury team, like I said, last game of a 3-game road trip. And just playing really fast and not great defense. So maybe a look towards the Minnesota Lynx team total over. I see Jamie dropped Lynx first half minus the 3.5, so thinking they'll be up 2 possessions at the end of the first half. I can see that as well. Markel says, I think the Sun can go under, and it dropped 3 points. I talked about that. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that, Markel. Don't like that it dropped 3 points already, but yeah, I mean those are really good. 2 of the top 5 defensive teams are the Wings and the Connecticut Sun. Connecticut Sun also playing at, I think, second slowest pace in the league, and they've been dictating pace. The Dallas Wings play at the fastest pace. I think it's them and the Mercury playing at the fastest pace in the league. But if we think that Connecticut is going to be in control of the game, then you definitely want to look towards them to control pace as well. So it makes sense that the total has dropped. Definitely makes sense. So I think that under is probably good as well. I think that's it. Oh, Chad throwing in fee double. Yeah, no way you could not look towards Nafisha Collier to get a double. Should be a bounce back game for her as well. She didn't play as well, as up to her MVP level standards in that last game against the Aces. So I can see Fee having a really big game as well. I like this look, Chad. Like this look a lot, man. And that's the show for today. We actually talked out some of this stuff throughout the show. But short list is here. I told you guys before, while we were breaking the games down, kind of gave out, just some other ways I'm kind of looking. I'll continue to look a little deeper. It is super early in the morning, and we got all day for these games, but the lines are moving. I like Atlanta plus 8.5 though. Like I said, I want Alyssa Gray in there, but I do like Atlanta tonight. Like I said, a 5-point win to get for the Aces, and they'll be fine in this spot. And Dallas plus the 8.5. I'm probably gonna lock that in because I do see the 8.5s leaving the board. The number is coming down to 8, but I do like that game to go under, and I like Dallas plus the 8.5 as well. Probably gonna stay off the other 2 games, but like I said, Lynx, they should bounce back today, in my opinion. And I'm not a big believer in the Mercury. I know that they covered against the Liberty, but kind of is what it is. And that's what we got for today, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Resources that I use, as always, are listed here. Check out the Moneyballer if you haven't. Very, very comprehensive website to kind of, put all your all the different angles that you need, whether it's stats, whether it's trends, whether it's situational spots. It's all kind of linked together, man. It's a very, very helpful resource. So check them out. I think it's still free right now as well. Definitely check them out. And then I always got to shout out OzJam, the promo partner. If you guys are interested in checking out their software, use code CBC in your first month. It'll get you 25% off. The link for the OzJam referral is in the promo is in the description as always. And then you guys see what other resources that I'm using to handicap these games as well. If you're still listening and you made it this far, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, share the show if you wouldn't mind, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. And like I said, as always, whenever I do make my official plays, the link will be in the description if you guys want to, become members. Bet responsibly. Best of luck, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Happy Friday, man. Enjoy the weekend. Only one WNBA game for tomorrow. I might make a quick video tonight for that game. It's going to be an action-packed game, though. We got, Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, Chicago Sky versus Indiana Fever. It's going to be a really good game, man. It's probably a line that you probably want to get to early as well if you're interested. But I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your weekend. And I'm out.